Hi, this is Dr. Tom Rogers coming to you with a weekly podcast coming from the Common Sense MD. I'm going to talk to you today about something very interesting and unique that I've helped develop. Um, you know, I kind of like having my own products. And in the past year, I've gotten 3 different lines of products made uniquely for performance medicine. One, of course, is my local, raw, unfiltered, unpasteurized honey, which I think has so many benefits. I love that. I consume it every day. It helps for allergies. It tastes great too. I just love it. So many benefits from honey, but it has to be pure, local, raw, unpasteurized. And you really can't get that at grocery stores, despite the fact you think you may can. The other thing I've developed are my performance medicine vitamins. I work with a compounding pharmacist out of Seattle um, named Freedom to Formulate, and I have been able to come up with my own version of different vitamins, immune supplements, energy formulas, stress formulas. And I like them because they're unique. I wanted the ingredients and the particular amounts that I put them in there, and they were able to do that. Like my super multivitamins, just packed with things. They said they'd never seen a vitamin that full of the ingredients that make up my vitamin. I mean, I put good milligrams in there. It's not just a trace of this, it's what you need. So I do have 4 different vitamin lines, but the one I'm going to talk to you today about is my CBD line. I have 4 different CBD products, um, and they're also made locally. Um, the person I work with on this project is a local guy, but he has a ton of influence on the CBD market nationwide, and he's really been really great to me, enabling me to kind of work with him in developing different formulas because they have different purposes. CBD is huge now. I mean, you see a store on every corner. I mean, a lot of people sell it. Your local gas station, you could probably pick some up, but I don't recommend that. And that's one reason I wanted to develop my own line of CBD products. I don't do this out of, look at me, this is my own brand. And, it's not, it has anything to do with ego. It's just, I want it pure, I want it good, and I want to be able to go over the products with you that are in that formulation so that you'll know there's different stuff. I mean, especially when you're in the supplement world, there's not much oversight with this. So I like to make sure that mine are pure, non-contaminated, don't have artificial ingredients in them, and that you can trust. So I've come up with these 4 different brands of CBD. You can go back and look at some of my podcasts on CBD and even medical marijuana. In Tennessee, we can't use medical marijuana. In Virginia, where I also practice, fortunately, we can. Um, and before it's over, every state will make it legal. I'm not really real keen on recreational use. I am keen on medical use of medical marijuana. I think it's such a great thing for certain people. I certainly don't like it for kids, but for older adults that are suffering, it's a wonderful drug. It's been used for thousands of years. It's been demonized in the United States since the 1920s, unfortunately, but a lot of people are seeing the light with that. And, one thing they started doing a lot of research on is CBD, which is, the part that doesn't have the psychoactive THC in it. There's another little nuance of that I'll talk about in a minute called Delta 8, which everybody's talking about. So that's kind of a safe, legal way to get around the no THC rule, at least in Tennessee and a lot of other states. But CBD from hemp enhances your body's endocannabinoid system, which includes your brain and spinal cord. That's where everything starts. So it affects really almost all of the cells of your body. And it's it really helps anxiety, it helps sleep, it decreases pain, it decreases inflammation. It may be helpful in cancer and autoimmune disease, all kinds of things. So, do your research on CBD and look at all the great things that we have for it. It comes from hemp, and it's a type of cannabis sativa plant. I've taken a deep dive on this in the last couple of years, taken a lot of courses in it, and think I'm pretty familiar with how to use it and what to watch out for. So, forms of CBD. Of course, you have your full spectrum that has all the parts of the cannabis plant, but less than 0.3 THC in it. Broad spectrum has all that minus any THC. Isolate has just CBD. There's no terpenes or plant compounds that naturally occur in hemp in this one. Therefore, it's really not real useful. I never use it because they cannot create the what we call entourage effect. Like a lot of these products from CBD work together to make it work awesome. And when you get to the medical marijuana part, we found that combining the THC with CBD is the most effective way to do it. Then you have your Delta 8 form, which is legal. Now, it does have the psychoactive THC in it. It's actually a cousin of Delta 9. The only one that's really banned is the Delta 9 THC. So it's a way of getting around it. THC, of course, is what's in marijuana. The only difference is by a double bond in one of the carbon chains, if you get into biochemistry. But it's legal in all states. The Delta 8 THC is about half as potent as a Delta 9. So a lot of people prefer it. They don't want that high that they get off of marijuana. But it does somewhat affect your brain. There's no doubt about it. And it will show up on a drug test, so be careful. Now, it's possible that the full spectrum could. That'd be rare. You'd have to take a lot of it, but it's very possible. Certainly on the broad spectrum, it's not going to show up on any drug test. I like the full spectrum, and for certain reasons and purposes, I like the Delta 8. A lot of people really do like it. But it turns out that's not all there is to it. There's actually 120 different substances in the cannabis sativa. And each has specific effects on the body. I bet you didn't know this, but there's CBG, little a, which is really the mother of all cannabinoids. And when heated, this is called decarboxylation, you lose one of your carbons. And it turns into CBG, which is very non-inflammatory. It has a lot of good properties like analgesia. It works to decrease muscle tension, helps with cancer, helps with glaucoma. We've known that for years. There's another one called CBN. It comes from THC, but without the psychoactive properties. It's great for insomnia. And that's what one I put in my sleep formula. There's CBD big A, which is more potent than just CBD. It acts as a COX-2 inhibitor for inflammation, anti-inflammation. Think Mobix and Celebrex. Those are COX-2 inhibitors. So it's great for reducing pain. It's great for nausea as well. In a lot of studies, they'll combine CBD-A with Zofran in chemo patients, and it really works better than just the Zofran alone. In general, marijuana and even CBD can increase appetite but help nausea. And there's another one called CBDV. It's great for neuropathies, migraines, epilepsy, and may even help in autism. So these formulations that we've developed, and I'll show you the 4 that I wanted. They're 100% natural. They're chemical-free. They have natural flavorings like small amount of sugar and tapioca to make the gummies. I use gummies with these things. I don't like to smoke anything to get it into your lungs. And it seems to be people like the gummies better than the sublingual. Plus, a lot of the sublinguals taste awful. These things taste pretty good. It's also tested for contaminants, which is very important in today's world, as you know. You do not want any kind of contaminants in there, for sure, with what's going on with drugs these days. But anyway, so I've developed 4 different types. And the one is a full spectrum for daily boost. And again, I'll give you a handout that shows all the different forms of the CBD in there, because there's a lot of differences in it, and we've worked hard to come up with these. But the full spectrum daily boost, it's really for just really giving you a boost. You usually take it in the morning. It helps your brain clear up and gives you some energy. I really like the daily boost. I've been taking one every day. Also very helpful for irritable bowel syndrome. Now, I do have the CBD called Full Spectrum for muscle and joint. And again, the formulation is going to be totally different. This one has a lot of forms of CBD in it. This is more for people that hurt a lot, that are older, have arthritis, have joint pain, muscle tension, fibromyalgia. It's loaded. I've taken it. I really like it because, you know, I'm 67 years old. I have a little arthritis and stiffness. It really helps me. I like it a lot. And the Full Spectrum Sleep Blend. I love this one. It really helps you because it's got the CBD in it, and it just gives you a good night's sleep. You could take melatonin with it if you wanted. You could take it by itself. But this is just a great little additive at night to help you get a good night's sleep. Very important. Us old folks don't sleep very well. I like it. Now the last one, I do have a Delta 8 product. It's really, really different. It's for relaxation. You do not want to take this during the day unless you're not doing much that day, because it's kind of potent. And I recommend this really for just feeling calm and comfortable when you don't have a lot of obligations that day and just want to chill out a little bit. I guess it'd be almost correlated with taking a drink, you know, to relax you. A lot safer than alcohol. But I do recommend, because it has THC in there. It does have some THC in there, but it's legal. But I do recommend you start out with a half one of these because it's a little more potent, and it can have a little psychoactive properties. And a lot of times with that kind of thing, you know, you want to start out really slow to see how your body reacts to it. You may or may not like it, but so start out at a half of one. I have a lot of people that really like this. In any event, so we have 4 different brands of the Performance Medicine CBD gummies, which I like a lot. And so it may add to your arsenal of making your journey of well-being more pleasant and hurt less inflamed, and can help a lot of different things. I hope this is helpful. Any questions, feel free to ask us. Come to our office or get on our webpage, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.